Welcome to another video with RiderCamTV, but this one is very special, isn't it?
Awesomely special.
Why?
Because we've got Kris with us.
Kris is with us from Monimoto. So tell us all about yourself, Kris.
Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here on your channel. So I'm a marketing manager at Minimoto, the smart GPS tracker brand. We're based in Lithuania. We are kind of working to make the bike industry safer than it is, and yeah.
We threw him in there, didn't we?
Yeah,
Go on, Kris, get on with it.
Yeah.
We should have just been sat there like going, oh, it's finished. What now?
Well, we love Monimoto, as you know, and we're working with you as partners on the channel, which is really exciting for us. So we thought we'd ask you a few questions. So we've prepared some questions, and obviously for our viewers, we're not being impolite and just bombard Kris with questions.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So we did pick a few questions. We had some comments and stuff who asked us some questions. So one of the things we wanted to highlight to people is why Monimoto are in the business of making their trackers, and where you've come from and where you're going, I guess.
Yeah, so actually the company was started by a guy, our current CEO, who was previously in the home security business, and they developed a product that appeared to be just too different from their current product line. And so that's actually how the company started. That they decided that, well, this is too different from what we currently do. We need to start a separate company, and there is really a need for this product. So let's try, and that's actually how Minimoto started.
So was he a biker then?
He himself not that much, but the team surrounding him, definitely yes. And that's actually that's how they came up with this idea that one of the co-founders of the company, he used to ride a lot, and I think the original idea was to make a tracker for bicycle. That how it was born. But then and it was back in 2013, I think, and the back in those days the technology was not there to make such a small and powerful gadget. So it shifted to motorcycles, and then it evolved. Yeah, but anyway, they were motorcycle riders. Yeah, so it was not. Yeah,
so that's really important, isn't it? Because lots of people make a product because they can see money, or lots of people make a product because they think it's a good idea. But having somebody integral to started off with cycling, but also motorcycling, knowing what the needs are of people.
It's like a trust there, isn't it? People will trust somebody who does that, you know. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so it was like a classical example, where like the problem appears, and then you try to solve it for yourself, and then you realize, why not solve it for everyone?
Yeah, and it solves many problems, doesn't it? Because lots of people, I mean, it's a budget thing for some people, isn't it? And these big trackers, they've got to be fitted to your bike, so there's a cost there. Then there's some sort of permanence there as well, isn't there? And there's a big cost to running those. Whereas Monimoto, you could have for your bike, but if your bike's in a lockup somewhere and you had a caravan and you're going away, you could use it for that as well. So it's you could cross it over to so many things, couldn't you?
Yeah, and another thing is, I think the simplicity of using it, of installing and using it, because what we saw on the market when we came to the market was that most of the trackers, they were so complex, and the user interface was so difficult to grasp for like a regular user. You need to like connect wires, do some like engineering kind of. Then you need to like to understand if it really works or not, and how the tracker works. You need to communicate to it using, you know, text messages and getting some weird responses, and then like need to understand what does that really mean. So that was another issue we wanted to address.
And you certainly addressed it, and it's all in such a small package, which is brilliant, isn't it? Because you can hide it anywhere.
I mean, even the first one we had on our bikes is like the size of a I don't know, banana, let's say. Is that a good analogy?
Yeah, it was a long tube, wasn't it?
Yeah, about the size of a banana. But you know, people who made negative comments about it when we first saw it by saying, "Oh, are you going to hide that?" I hid that on my bike, and nobody knew it was there. And I used to say to people, "I find it on my bike," you know, and they go, "Oh, it's me." All the obvious places they'd look. I won't tell you where I put it because it was just, you know, it was like so sneaky on such a big thing. And now you've made it even smaller. You know, it's really easy to hide, even easier now. I'm excited by it.
I am. I love the Monimoto. So
I love the comparison. I love the comparison, like a banana. I was actually collecting, you know, the list, making up the list of comparisons I've heard and read that people do. Like some people said it's a size of a cigar. It's a size of a motorcycle, you know, handlebar.
Yeah.
Like a size of iPhone, just, you know, round and like things like that. So never heard like a banana.
That's because I'm simple. And I always look after my stomach.
I love it. So you're in Lithuania. Right. So how big is the team then? How big is the team that work on either? Presumably you you have somebody that manufactures the actual device, but how big is the team that you have?
It's actually, it's hard to say, but it's 20 plus people. But as you said, that there is a production facility also based here in Lithuania. Then there are a team of engineers. There is sales and marketing team. So yeah, like if in total it's about 20 people, and also there are like external people that are helping us working on a certain, you know, tasks or projects, like temporary stuff. So yeah, but approximately 20 people.
Well, the reason I ask is because I think a lot of people, when they see lots of different trackers on eBay and auction sites that are really simple, but they're also really cheap, and your Monimoto comes in at a really good price point for lots and lots of people. And I think it's important for people to understand that somebody like Monimoto has lots of people that are working on it, but they've worked on such a great product to also bring down the cost so that you're not paying hundreds and hundreds of pounds as well.
Well, yeah.
He was like, bless him. He's going, oh, what do I say now? We gave you the script.
No, but it's true though, isn't it? Because
absolutely agree. That's correct. I mean, that's what we strive to do. Like keep the price, keep the price reasonable, and deliver what we promise. Like actually we. If you compare us to those fully featured trackers, you would notice right away we don't offer any entertainment functionalities and all that, you know, fancy stuff. But that's what was the main idea. We just wanted to solve the, you know, theft issue, and we just focus on that one thing.
So,
no, go on.
All right. So you've told us previously, you've had people have said that the bikes have been sold, you've had comments about how the bikes have been recovered and things. the question is, you know, have you got much data on how many bikes have been stolen and recovered, or, you know, how does it work? I think is the question in really bad English.
Well, we don't have exact numbers, because we try to collect as fewer data, as little data as possible. And most of the stories that we hear from the customers are when they come back to us saying, wow, what a great product, you helped us, you helped me recover my bike. So that's the only source for now that we hear those stories. So I can imagine that the number of those success cases are definitely higher, because not everyone obviously would go back to the company and like say praise us or whatever. But yeah, so I don't know if that answers the question or not, but
Actually, I don't
yeah.
know what the question was now.
but Mark knows people that have been literally following the bike that's been stolen to recover it as well. So
I think we said that when we spoke to you previously, that somebody put a comment on our initial video that they'd actually had I think it was in Liverpool, their bike had been stolen. They called the police to say my bike's been stolen, and then he went and looked, you know, on the app and was like, I know where it is, you know, and he jumped in a taxi and actually went to where the van was with his bike still in it, still in Liverpool. I'm sure it was Liverpool. And he called the police and said, look, response to, you know, my initial call about this is where it is. And the police turned up and recovered his bike, you know, and they arrested the people. It took him 3 months to get his bike back because it was all part of a court case then, but, you know, he got his bike back. But he wrote that on our website, on the video that we'd initially put on. And so that's really nice to know that it does work, because that's you know, there's no one asked him to do that. He's just done that and gone, it works for me. So the other question I had is, how are you comparing to like the I won't say the big boys, but, you know, the people who are providing these bespoke systems, you know, in general?
You mean other trackers that
Yeah.
are more fully featured?
Yeah.
Well, so as I mentioned, we just try to address a main issue, which is theft, without providing any. Well, this is more. This is, I think, also a technical point, because we try to make it simple, which means we try to get rid of the wires to make it battery powered. And there is it's really difficult to make battery powered device and put a lot of features in it and make it like work in real time and be always on, because then it just you would need to replace batteries, I don't know, every month or week or so. So we decided that let's just solve this main problem, because that's why you actually want to get a tracker to protect your motorcycle, and other stuff is just optional. So and as you noticed, the price point is also lower compared to most of those trackers. And another thing that is really appealing to the customer is that you can actually well, we don't advise to, if your bike has been stolen, we don't advise to go and fight it back yourself. But that's what really the fact that you can really react yourself and call the police and tell them, hey, look, I have the exact coordinates where my bike is, please come and help me recover it. This is really something that people love. When they those that have to encounter this situation They really loved the fact that they were able to track it down, call the police, tell them that, hey, I know where my bike is, just come here and get it. So, and as I know, I might not be 100% correct, but as I know, those companies, most of the companies, at least in the UK, they don't let the owner of the motorcycle do anything. They deal themselves with the entire situation, which is, I guess, it's okay. Like you paid the money, so you want someone to, like, you paid a lot of money, so you want someone to do this stuff for you. But yeah, our our success stories show that well, it works, and people are happy, and they really can react fast and recover the bikes fast.
We did the video where I stole his tracker, which is called Derek. And I love, mine's called Pauline the Watcher. And I love the fact that every day I get a message that says, Pauline the Watcher is armed and ready. I love that. So I stole his tracker and drove off for about 5-6 miles, something like that. And you followed in the car a few minutes behind. And it does work. I mean, it's fantastic. It did work. It's reassuring for anybody, but to see it on a video, it does actually work. The only problem we had with it was we didn't think the live tracking was working. It was, but we were just bone stupid and didn't understand. Well, you were.
Yeah, because it had that red strip across the top. So on that last video, we'll link it up somewhere. You took Derek. I was really distraught. You took Derek, and Derek went off on his merry way, and we were getting updates at pivotal points. I think they were every 30 seconds or every minute, something like that.
Every minute. Every minute.
So we were getting those at every minute, which was great because I could track where they were. And like I said on the video, you'll always have, or you kind of always have some sort of local knowledge, even if it's on Google Maps, that the point that Derek is over here and you're here, there's a myriad of ways to get to it. So you can get to it quicker than, following the map or the route that they've taken. But the red strip across the top said that active tracking would be active after 5 minutes and stayed there. So we had a couple of comments saying, oh, we don't know what was happening with the live tracking. So can you explain to us what the live tracking is, when it starts and how that works, so that we can get across to people that are watching that if that comes up, that it is actually working?
Yeah. So again, this is tightly related to the fact that Minimoto is a battery-powered device, and at first, like originally, we just made our algorithm worked in a way that you get when the alarm starts, you get location updates every 5 minutes, and then we were getting feedback from our customers that it would be great if you can have more frequent updates, like live tracking or something like that. And again, it would be really nice to have like real-time tracking, but then the battery is the limit, and then it would drain so fast that maybe it would not be helpful at all. So we made it send location updates every 1 minute, and we need to we needed to separate, like to call it somehow, and yeah, I don't know if I mean, live tracking might not be the best name for it, but yeah, you're welcome to suggest better how to call it better to make the more clear.
Well, I'm guessing that live tracking does explain it, because if you said periodic tracking, people would be really worried and say, well, it's not tracking all the time, whereas in fact it is. But I guess
I mean,
when you look at a mobile phone's talking to a mast to find out where it is, but it's not doing that every split second of every day, because like you said, the battery will be dead, wouldn't it? So what you're doing is you're providing that live tracking, but every minute. So it's live, but every minute it's live.
I mean, in your case, you were obviously expecting it to be like real time
Going along
tracking. Yeah, and so which it isn't. So yeah, I don't know.
No, but it's good because now people understand that live tracking does mean that it's tracking live, that it's now in an alarm state. So it's going to send that ping of wherever it is every minute to your app so that you can track it. So that is live tracking.
We just didn't understand that. That was all.
Yeah.
It was doing its job very well as well.
Yeah, but this year we're going to do a big update for our mobile app, so we will address all the user experience issues and try to make it clear, as clear as possible for everyone. You know, put all the explanations, like informational pop-ups, everything what's possible to make it clear.
Oh, that's really good. And what that does show is that the massive companies, I don't want to make you seem like a small company, but what I really love about your company is that you're really personable. So when customers are saying, oh, we think this could be a feature, or can you tweak that? You're listening to them, and if it makes sense for the company and the device, you're changing it. Whereas that kind of gets lost in more expensive, bigger companies that have got hundreds and hundreds of people working on it. It's really difficult to get that message back, to get the product improved or tweaked or even understand like we're doing.
Whenever I've messaged Monimoto, it's been answered within about 5 or 10 minutes, which is fantastic because, you know, other companies just like, we'll get there in the end, you know, but it's always been really, really quick. So thanks for that.
Well, I had a phone call the other day. I got on my bike and literally within seconds I had a phone call saying that my bike, Derek, was being stolen. Because I left the key fob on the side. So wow. It works really, really well. One thing that I had not an issue with, but when we were setting up, we both found when we were setting up the instructions were really good because pictures say 1 million words, but we both had to turn off our Wi-Fi.
You have to explain. We were inside the house trying to set it up, and we found that we had to switch off the house Wi-Fi to actually set up the device because it was obviously struggling to what it was looking for. We were setting up the Bluetooth part of it, whether it was catching the Wi-Fi in a house. But you had the problem here in your house, and I had the problem in my house. But once we switched it off, straight away it picked it up. I don't know if you're aware of
that. You mean when pairing it to your phone?
Yeah. We had to actually go outside and do it in the garden, away from the Wi-Fi,
and then it worked just like that.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Well, that's interesting. I never had this issue, and I don't think it should be related, but yeah, because the pairing process is Bluetooth process. So yeah, but I might need to discuss with our product manager.
Just us two idiots that know nothing about bikes. That just couldn't work it, but you know, we got there in the end. I've got to say that it's peace of mind because my bike came with a different tracker, one that was fitted, but I would have the Monimoto over that tracker all the time because I know where it is. I don't know where the other one is because they just fit it for you, don't they? And until you start taking the bike apart, you can't find it. The other ones got different features, and I like the fact that your whole ethos in Monimoto is let's sort the one issue out about finding a bike when it's stolen and give you that peace of mind rather than giving you all this extra loads of data and all this other stuff.
You can go back and track it and see where you've been for your last 7 days. I'm not interested in that, you know, just tell me when the bike's been nicked. Yeah. That's what I want, which is what your device does perfectly. Touch wood.
Yeah, that's what we learned. Actually, you need to focus really hard on something to make it work. Otherwise, both you and your customers might get lost on, you know, between all those features and why do I actually need this stuff and yeah.
But getting back to battery life of the Monimoto, and we've obviously got the new updated one now, and so I'm not really sure how long the batteries are going to last. But on the last one, the banana one, the batteries were lasting for about 9 months, I think.
That's
At least 9 months, something like that, which I thought was brilliant, you know, for a battery powered device that every day is telling you it's ready, you know. And so we'll see how it goes with these new ones.
It's quite funny because in my job, I work in emergency service, and every day it says Derek is armed and ready. So if somebody saw my phone at work, they'd probably think that I'm organising some sort of terror cell. But it's really quite good to see that it's there. And like you were saying with the battery, it's telling you that it's armed. It's telling you when the signal's lost, so when you need to make sure everything's okay. But for a small battery like that in a tiny device, giving you that peace of mind, I think it's everything for me when I'm on the bike.
Yeah. And I am glad that you've gone to those little AA batteries or whatever they are, AAAs, are they? And you've gone away from that big stumpy one, because they were really quite hard to find in the UK. I don't know if anyone has a problem.
And that is thanks to, you know, communication technologies, because previously we were using 2G and 3G, and now it's 4G, which is very power efficient, and we were able to switch to those standard batteries and still ensure that it will last. I mean, ensure that with these standard batteries, they will last enough to like. Actually, it all depends on the number of events, you know, coordinates sent or phone calls made to you by Monimoto tracker. So it's just approximate when we say, you know, 1 year, 2 year. It really has to do with your usage pattern, but I see you are both happy about the battery time, which is
one thing
great.
About the call. So almost instantly, when the tracker realizes the fob's not in range and technically your bike's been stolen, or Derek is now in peril, you get a phone call. And that phone call comes up from Sweden. Now, is that the actual tracker sending you a kind of an alert through a phone call, or is that like a data center that it all gets routed through and sends you the phone call?
Did you? I believe your the Swedish number was with a banana one, like Mark said.
Yeah. I haven't had it with my new one yet.
Yeah, and the new one it's the same number. Like, so if the answer is both to your question. I mean, the previous model was calling directly from, like, the actual tracker was making a call, and the new one is actually being the call is being routed through, like, it goes to the server and then it comes to your phone.
Oh, cool. So all of that in like only a couple of minutes, if that, is really quite astounding, isn't it? That it's basically going across to somewhere central from wherever and then going back to your phone, which is technically near where the bike was. I mean, that's quite immense, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's what most customers also like, that you know, most other trackers and systems, they just send you notifications or text messages, which is when you have like hundreds of different hundreds of different apps on your phone, the just another notification might get lost, and you will not pay attention throughout the day. And when you get a call, you will definitely notice that and react.
100%. And I've got to say, Mark always laughs at me when we do a review on anything, because the first thing I do is when I unbox it, I smell it. And it's really weird, because if you've ever had a GoPro, you smell the GoPro stuff and it just smells so nice.
That is so weird.
Yeah, but the tracker smells lovely, and I don't go around saying but what I do love about it is the packaging is really quite special, and it was before.
I don't think you ever mentioned the smell of the product on your video.
I'm trying to wean him off it. It's just bizarre.
But what I really did like about it, the old Banana Star, the old one, you didn't ever see packaging like that in like a tube that was nicely done. And this
I've still got it.
Yes, so have I. And the new one, the packaging, I think is just as special as the device. And I'm not saying it just because you're on camera, but I think lots of people, it's like food. You eat with your eyes and you buy with your eyes as well, don't you? And when you see something that, for me, has been carefully crafted in terms of the packaging, it means that there's a level of detail in the product as well. And I really like that. So it's just a bit of feedback from you, just from an idiot who knows nothing about bikes, saying that I love the smell of your products. And I love it.
Thanks for that. And we really put a lot of work into making that package look nice and shiny. And yeah, it was like a big separate project before the actual product launch. So yeah. Glad that you like
it. But there's a lot of people and a lot of effort that goes into doing those.
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying it's weird that you like to sniff boxes. You know what I mean?
Depends what's in there.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
There we go.
Well, it's been amazing to talk to you on video and put things out. Obviously, we'll edit the video, but I think it was really lovely to speak to you and be able to share some of the views from Monimoto out there. Unless there's anything else you want to say to all of your customers that might well be viewing through us.
Well, I guess I wish you, since it's just the beginning of the year, so I wish you a great year, great rides, discoveries, and keep your bikes safe.
With Monimoto.
And with
we like Kris.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
And I'll tell you what we need to do is, if we ever get a chance to go off and ride through Lithuania, we need to pop in and say hello to the team. That's
Absolutely.
what we need to do.
Definitely. Let's do that, and I will show you around our facilities and offices and everything.
I'm just looking at the two screens here. It looks like we're in different parts of the same building, actually.
But we are in different parts of the world.
Got snow on top of that window there.
Yeah, we haven't, but what a wonderful chat. So thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Kris. Right, so if you've liked the video, click the thumbs up button. Thumb up, Kris.
There's stuff up here somewhere.
And there's the subscribe button. But most importantly, have a look at our website, because all of the details of our partners, i.e. Monimoto's, on there. And we've got a beautiful link in the description that will get you to the Monimoto to buy your very own.
And always remember, Pauline the Watcher is armed and ready.
And Derek is.